Stop leeching off my dad who makes $18,000 a month. Snapped Olivia, my husband's daughter. Oh dear, you got dumped by dad. I'm gonna go to dad's place. Olivia's expensive private middle school fees were dumped on me, and her father has disappeared. Olivia, you don't know anything. Your dad's a liar. What? That doesn't make sense. This is why I get tired talking to dumb people. Can you just be quiet? Lying old hag. I didn't stop Olivia as she happily left the house. Let her see the reality for herself. I'm Emily Smith. I turned 30 this year. I'm currently at my middle school reunion. I don't usually dress up, so I went shopping at the department store for this occasion. I ended up buying clothes and bags from brands I didn't even know, as suggested by the salesperson. It was an unexpectedly big expense, but I was satisfied with the nice things I got. It's nice to have the freedom of being single. This dress of mine is just a sale item. Yeah, we want to spend money on our kids. Emily, did you come here all fired up to find a boyfriend? Most of my classmates are already married with kids. This area is a bit rural, so everyone marries early. Some already have teenagers. I couldn't keep up with all the talk about kids and husbands. Hey, aren't you Emily Smith? I was approached by a man while resting in a corner, tired of smiling. It's me. Look, James Morgan. James. The name didn't ring a bell. Come on, I was in the soccer team and we were in the same class with you. No way, you don't remember? That hurts. Then, after hearing about his time in the soccer team, I finally remembered him. James Morgan, the all-around sportsman and popular guy. Emily, you look beautiful. I can't say it out loud, but among everyone here, you're the most attractive. This reunion led to me and James starting to date. About a month into our relationship, James suddenly confessed. Actually, I'm divorced and have a daughter. What? She's a girl. Ah, her name's Olivia. I was shocked to hear for the first time about his divorce and that he had a child. Moreover, he was raising the child himself. With a kind expression, he held my hand. Olivia wants to meet you, wants you to be her new mom. I was confused by the sudden news, but felt a warmth in my cheeks. Olivia is in the 6th grade, about 11 years old. I wonder if she'll welcome her parents' new partner. Honestly, it's a tricky age. The following Sunday. With mixed feelings, I met Olivia. Hello. Thank you for your company with my dad. I'm Olivia. Nice to meet you. Olivia said, thanking me politely. Despite her youthful appearance, she was a mature girl. I'm glad to have a kind mom. She whispered softly, visibly relieved. Oh, sorry. You're not my mom yet. But I'd be happy if you became my real mom. Dad seems to really like you too. He always brags about her at home. Hey. Olivia, what are you saying? That's embarrassing. See, he's totally smitten. Their heartwarming exchange made me chuckle. With James and Olivia, we can build a happy family with constant smiles. Maybe I was too blinded by the excitement of new love at that time. With Olivia's encouragement, we got married. Since it was James's second marriage, there was no wedding ceremony. I was a bit wistful about not wearing a wedding dress, but it couldn't be helped. We just registered our marriage, and I moved into the house where James lived. What happened here? James's house looked like it had been burglarized. When I visited before, it wasn't spotless, but it was somewhat tidy. But back then, I only saw the living room, so the clutter and trash were probably just shoved in the other rooms. My lovely wife, here's your chance to show your skills. It seems like he let the housework pile up just to dump it all on me, and it's really upsetting. But today was our first day as a married couple. I didn't want to fight. I'm good at cleaning. Leave it to me. Right. James smirked, showing his yellowed teeth. You're a garbage collector after all. His tone was sarcastically mean. My job is a garbage collector. I know it's perceived as dirty, but James was different. I remembered his words during our dating days. Garbage collection is an essential job for society. I know it's not easy and not everyone can do it. Emily, you're amazing. He looked at me with genuine respect. That couldn't have been a lie. I wanted to believe, but the James in front of me now laughed mockingly. Well, hurry up and clean it up. Ah, okay. This is awful. I wanted to speak up, but my voice stuck in my throat. Olivia was there too. I couldn't start a fight in front of a child. Hey Dad, this lady isn't doing anything. Is she like, defective or something? She should just get to work now, right? Defective? That's harsh. But yeah, she's a woman with 30 years of manufacturing behind her. But you said she was supposed to be good at housework. If she's defective, why don't we just throw her out? Even Olivia, who used to be sweet and adorable, had changed. To the two of them laughing, I was just a convenient tool for doing housework. I felt the blood drain from my face, but realizing this on the first day of marriage was too late. Before I had time to think deeply about it, a month had passed. Taking care of the house and Olivia became my responsibility. You're late. I've been waiting for 3 minutes. What if something happened to me, left alone on the street at night? Could you take responsibility? Complaining replaced thank you when I picked her up from tutoring at night by car. Despite her intelligence, she couldn't muster a simple word of gratitude. Ugh, I'm so tired. School again tomorrow. It's so dumb. There's nothing for me to learn at this low-level school. Olivia, a bright student, found her current elementary school unsatisfying. She was attending tutoring to get into a private middle school. Since this area isn't urban, it's rare for students to take entrance exams for private middle schools. I don't want to go to school, but it'll affect my exams. Hey, I'm too tired, so drive me in the morning too. Sorry, I can't. I don't have time in the mornings. You're always gone in the mornings. What are you doing? I'm working. Olivia leaned forward from the back seat. What? Shouldn't I be more important than your job? A mom who puts her child second after getting married is just unacceptable. Even so, I couldn't just quit my job. Living off of Dad's money and still being so cheeky? The cheeky one is Olivia. Living in modern times but with such outdated thinking. The most important person in this house is Dad. He's like the king and I'm the princess. You're just a servant we picked up from the street. If you defy me, remember, servants can be easily replaced. Her mindset was far beyond outdated. I couldn't understand how a modern elementary school student could think like that. The next day, after finishing my early morning job, I came home to start cleaning without any rest. I managed to tidy up the kitchen, bedroom, and bathroom to some extent, but the master bedroom and hallway were still a mess. When will this house be clean? Get master bedroom done by the end of this week. James ordered so. Wearing a mask, I opened the doors to the room and found it littered with clothes, snack wrappers, and numerous pay stubs. I hesitantly opened one. What? A take-home pay of $18,000? He earns quite a lot. I was surprised to see James's income was higher than I expected. I had been doubting whether he had any money, so it was a relief to know he had a stable income. James had been asking me to make various payments. It started with the utility bills. Then the mortgage and Olivia's tutoring fees, all of which I transferred from my account. Naturally, I was the one opening my wallet for daily expenses too. I'm busy, so pay on my behalf. James said so. Indeed, he usually didn't come home until after 10 p.m. No time for banks. And apparently, managing the household finances is the wife's job. If you have money, you could at least give me some for living expenses. Even if he doesn't have time to withdraw money every month, it's strange that the account he uses for automatic withdrawals is always empty. He should just keep some money in there for emergencies. I wondered if he had some weird obsession, but he didn't oppose when I suggested putting a lump sum into the account. Now, I'm not sure if I should throw away these pay stubs or not. They seem old, so I checked the date and, to my surprise, they were from 10 years ago. I can't believe this. How long has it been since this room was cleaned? Once I cleared enough floor space, I turned to the pile of garbage bags in the corner. They were filled with a mix of different types of trash, not sorted at all. While separating the garbage, I found scraps of paper among the cans and bottles. I can't believe this. There's no intention of recycling here. As someone who works in garbage collection, I can't stand this kind of mixing. It was hard to get the paper scraps out of the cans, but I managed. What's this? I wondered, looking at the scraps. Garbage is full of personal information. I wanted to ask James about these scraps, but the opportunity never came. When James came home late at night, it was pointless to try to talk to him. I'm tired. Let me sleep. In the morning, I leave for work while James is still asleep. 2 months have flown by without much interaction, and now it's time for Olivia's middle school entrance exams. She passed with flying colors. Olivia's hard work paid off. We were happy as a family for a moment. Then James said, "All right, then pay the enrollment fee." Me? The fee is $6,000. Didn't you say you'd prepare it from your savings? I've been too busy to go to the bank. I have to go to work now. You're the mother, you take care of Olivia. Wait a minute. I grabbed James' shoulder, but he shrugged me off roughly. Enough. I'm earning money for the family. You take care of the house, you're the mother. James pushed me aside and quickly left the house. Stunned, I looked at Olivia, who smirked at me. The enrollment fee is due tomorrow, Mom. I had my thoughts about Olivia, but I couldn't ruin her future. Not just the enrollment fee, but also the first year's tuition and other expenses were needed too. The total was close to $20,000. I knew the amount, but the size of the number made me dizzy. And James, too busy with work, rarely came home. Just pay it, you're the mother. James ordered over the phone when I finally got through to him. I'm helping you to get a pleasure of supporting Dad and me by doing this. Be grateful, Mom. I felt a whirlwind of frustration for such a hateful daughter-in-law, but only slightly prevailed my feeling of pity that she could not go to a private junior high school that she had worked hard to get into. I paid the fees, but James still didn't come home. With work and preparing for Olivia's school, my days were busy, and soon Olivia started junior high. It looks like it's just the two of us living together for a while. Got some news, I've been transferred. I'll be living alone for work, so I'm counting on you to take care of Olivia. James said suddenly over the phone, and it sounded suspiciously like a lie. Before I could say anything, he hung up. After that, no matter how many times I called back, there was no answer. I knew Olivia must be feeling insecure without her father. She's only in middle school, even if she acts tough. But instead of sharing my concerns, Olivia mocked me. Too bad. Looks like Dad dumped you. Olivia, with a confident smile on her face, showed no signs of being upset. She began packing her things into large bags and plastic sacks. She carelessly stuffed in loads of clothes and school supplies, piling them up at the entrance. I'm going to Dad's place. You can drive me there. Oh wait, that would be too pitiful for you. So never mind. Bye-bye. Do you know where your dad is, Olivia? Sort of. But I'm not telling you. But Olivia, your dad, he. Her laughter turned to a serious face. Shut up. Why did Dad even marry you? You're not worth it just for cleaning. Maybe to support me to get into the school. It's so weird. She continued, pointing her finger at me. You've been dumped by Dad who makes $18,000 a month. Stop leeching off him. I realized it was pointless to keep talking to Olivia. Okay, got it. Then I'll divorce your dad who takes home $1,800. Olivia burst out laughing at my irritation. You're really dumb, aren't you? You saw Dad's pay stubs when you cleaned, right? Can't you even count numbers? Like 1, 10, 100? Shouldn't you start over from first grade? Olivia, you don't know anything. Your dad is a liar. What? That doesn't make sense. This is why I get tired of talking to dumb people. Just be quiet. Lying old hag. I didn't stop Olivia as she happily left the house. Let her see the reality for herself. Since I couldn't reach James by phone, I sent him just one message. Please divorce me. It was read, but no reply. That probably means he doesn't want a divorce. With both husband and daughter gone, there's no reason for me to stay in the house. I packed my few belongings and sighed deeply. The house, which initially looked like it had been burglarized, was now completely tidy. I had hoped that improving the cluttered environment would clear Olivia's heart, but things don't work out that easily. My marriage with James lasted only about 6 months. It was foolish to think I could change them in just half a year. Goodbye. Before leaving, I made a final farewell to the house, now empty of its owner. Just then, the front door swung open forcefully. Dad, Olivia, who had left just minutes before, rushed back in, tears in her eyes. She sobbed as she pleaded with me. Dad said he can't live with me. He said to live with you. It's weird, isn't it? Why? Why? If Olivia had gone to James, she must know the answer. I had to put that answer into words and tell her. Dad left us, both me and you. No, he didn't. Olivia screamed, but her strength gave way, and she slumped down in the cold entrance. I knew the truth. James's absence wasn't due to work or a transfer. He was with another woman, wasn't he? I was just a convenient source of money and a maid for him. His real affection was for someone else. James's real interest was in a woman younger and prettier than me, I believe. He seemed completely smitten with her. Careless as he is, it seemed he even introduced this woman to Olivia. Even a child like Olivia could see who was the real choice. How did you know? Apparently, it was supposed to be a secret from me. You thought I wouldn't find out? When I was cleaning the house, traces of her were everywhere. Photos she printed out were just thrown away with the trash. They probably just got mixed up with everything else because of the mess. People who can't throw away trash or sort it properly can't keep secrets. What? Gross. You were going through the trash? I had to, it wasn't sorted. Ew, gross, that's creepy. Using Olivia's words, what's really gross and creepy is James. It seems like James and Olivia were mocking me, but Olivia didn't really know James. Before leaving the house, you wondered why your dad married me, right? That's because he wanted to dump you on me. What? He wanted to have more fun with his girlfriend, and Olivia was in the way. But he wasn't cruel enough to abandon his daughter. He used his good looks to approach me and got himself a useful mom for Olivia. I was foolish to be so easily deceived. Olivia's phone, which had fallen from her pocket, started vibrating. It was a call from James. I picked up the phone and put it on speaker. James's sweet talk filled the room. Olivia, sorry. Saying I can't live with you isn't because you're a burden. I just want you to stay with Mom. You know, if Dad's gone, Mom would be lonely. Help out the poor lady. It's like, volunteer work. You're kind, so I'm counting on you. Hey, Olivia, you listening? What a joke, doing it for my sake. He just wants to get rid of Olivia so he can enjoy his time with his young girlfriend. She must understand that by now. Looking down at her, she was clenching her fists, her head bowed. I couldn't tell if she was crying or shaking with anger. But it was clear she was deeply shocked. I don't need any volunteering. I'm not lonely being alone. Ah. As Olivia fell silent, I replied in her stead, causing James to let out a short scream on the other end of the phone. You were there? Don't just answer someone else's phone. He always yells when things don't go his way. Isn't that a sign of someone who's not too bright? James, where are you right now? I told you, I've been transferred. It's a solo assignment. A solo assignment? To an apartment that's a 10-minute walk from home? What? James let out an absurdly exaggerated voice. To think you're cheating so close by and believing you wouldn't get caught is crazy. How did you? I didn't need to follow suspicious James to know. It was the trash. I found terribly mishandled garbage at the dumpster of that apartment. While collecting trash, I often saw bags with mixed burnable waste and plastic bottles. Moreover, I found cans inside plastic bottles stuffed with tissues and cigarette butts. Just like the garbage left at home. It's rare nowadays to see such poor disposal manners. I immediately realized it was James's trash. Ugh, you went through the trash? That's gross, creepy. Both James and Olivia call me gross and creepy, but they are the real problem. I know you're living with another woman. I want a divorce. Well, we don't have to divorce. James's voice suddenly became meek. He was mumbling excuses. It's not that I hate you, Emily. You're needed as Olivia's mother, I really trust you. So, don't talk about something sad like divorce. He kept talking, but I hung up. And I pressed the intercom of a certain apartment. No one answered after 3 rings. Thinking they might be busy, I tried the door. It was unlocked. Wow, Emily! Inside, there were indeed James and another woman. What are you doing here? Despite yelling and spitting in anger, James was hiding half of his body behind the woman. I was on the phone with James while heading to the apartment. I also brought Olivia, who was in a daze, with me. Now, Olivia was sitting weakly at the entrance. Here we are at James's solo assignment. The woman, with her fluttery eyelash extensions, blinked in surprise. You're James's wife? Plain Jane, huh? James likes this kind of woman? Bad taste. You should just divorce her now. Right. If he wants to play with cute women like you, he should just divorce plain me. Unexpectedly agreeing with me, the other woman chuckled. You're pretty understanding, old lady, kinda funny. Thanks. What's your name? Mia. Given her vibe, she might work at a nightlife spot, so that could be her stage name. If you and James divorce, I might marry him. Olivia's a teenager, she doesn't need much care. I can be her mom. What do you say, James? Mia peeked at James, who had been shrinking back. I confronted James with the divorce papers, already filled in on my part. Here you go, James, what are you gonna do? I hadn't thought of divorce. I mean, if you prefer younger girls, please divorce me. After a moment of silence, James asked one thing. Is Olivia doing okay at school? Of course. All right then. I'll sign the divorce papers. Finally, James signed the divorce papers. I immediately put them in my bag. Thank you. I'll file these. Funny. I should be the one thanking you. James, who had used me for his convenience, surprisingly thanked me. But I didn't expect this to be a clean break. James burst into laughter. You're such a fool. You're just a used-up tool I'm throwing away. Get it? I waited silently for his next words. James began bragging. You really helped me out. You cleaned the house, paid for all of Olivia's expenses. Thanks. I can say thank you as many times as you want, thank you, thank you. Like a parrot gone mad, James kept repeating thank you over and over. Yeah, you're welcome. Just make sure to pay back the money I advanced. What? That's not gonna happen. I've kept all the receipts and transfer records, so please take care of it. Are you kidding me? James grabbed my collar, choking me. My throat was constricted. My legs trembled with fear, but I managed to speak firmly. Don't be petty about money, especially in front of Olivia and Mia. It's embarrassing. His eyes were bloodshot, but his grip loosened slightly. I pulled away from James's grasp and took out his pay stub from my pocket. I've seen this. James awkwardly looked away. Earning $18,000 a month, he should be more proud. Besides, this stub was from 10 years ago. To earn that much at about 20 is extraordinary. He might be earning even more now. James, you're amazing. Earning this much, you can easily afford $20,000 or $30,000. Please pay me back. That is, but... James stumbled over his words. Then Mia slapped his back. Come on, stop dragging this out. Just pay her and end this hassle. But... Hey lady, is $20,000 enough? I've got it, I can pay for you. Oh. Mia, you sure? James looked at Mia as if she were a goddess. I just got paid the other day, and I was saving up to buy a bag. Mia pulled out a thick envelope. Here's $20,000. I hesitantly accepted the large sum, surprised by this unexpected turn of events. Mia, thank you for doing this for me. Don't mention it. Mia casually responded to an emotional James. Just pay me back later. How about $20,000 interest per day? You can pay me back in 10 days. It sounded like a light remark, but it didn't seem like a joke. I thought Mia was spending her own money to help James. James, apparently under the same impression, stood there with his mouth agape. That kind of money. James turned pale and started trembling. I decided to reveal James's secret as he seemed unable to speak. You don't have that kind of money, do you? Mia tilted her head. I showed her the pay stub. Bringing home $18,000. Pretty amazing, right? But... Mia seemed unsurprised that James was a high earner. This pay is too high for a 20-year-old. And when I checked, no such company existed. This pay stub, if you look closely, is on cheap copy paper, the print is misaligned, and there are typos. Obvious errors. Looks like someone tried to mimic it, but it's shoddily done. Mia examined the pay stub closely. Ah, workdays are listed as withdrawal days. You withdrew money 23 times in a month? That's hilarious. Mia, finding it like a game of spotting mistakes, laughed holding her stomach. When I confronted James, he admitted he made the pay stub himself. I thought it would be cool to have a proper pay stub to show off to my wife or girlfriend. Showing off such a fake stub is not cool at all, but rather embarrassing. He must have scattered them in the Japanese-style room just to impress me. Unbelievable. Olivia, who had been sitting unnoticed, muttered softly. Her image of a respectable father had just crumbled. The father named James was not the king of our home, as she had thought. I handed a crumpled piece of paper to Mia, not Olivia. No matter how much she tried to smooth out the crumpled paper, Mia opened it, still in a wrinkled state. Wow, the gap between ideal and reality is harsh. James, you're unbelievable. Impossible. Mia burst into laughter as soon as she opened the paper. Her face turned red with laughter. She had been considering marrying James, but now she quickly changed her mind. Olivia, looking puzzled, picked up the paper Mia had dropped. What? $900? Wait. 1, 10, 100. $900? Olivia counted the numbers several times, but it was definitely $1,800. This is James's real pay stub. He was working part-time in a warehouse. The scraps of paper hidden in the cans and bottles were James's recent pay stubs. They were recent, ranging from $1,600 to a maximum of $2,000. Impressive for a student's part-time job, but disappointing for a 30-year-old man's income. What? I thought I had disposed of it properly. James finally realized his pay stub was being seen and snatched it from Olivia's hand. No, this is bad. Don't look at it. James yelled, almost crying. It just made him look all the more pitiful, and my sympathy for him quickly faded. Olivia and Mia clearly looked appalled. What's with that look? Were all of you just after my money? Am I worthless without money? You all are the worst. Scum. Money grubbers. I won't give a single cent to you greedy people. James started yelling again. I sighed naturally. It's not that you won't give a cent, it's that you can't. Why are you acting so high and mighty with an income of just $1,800? James opened and closed his mouth, his eyes wide. He seemed unable to retort in shock. So, you're the real gold digger, James. You married me for my money, right? I knew it was a loveless marriage right after we got married, but being non-confrontational, I didn't act on it. Maybe James was just really busy. If the house gets clean, maybe James and Olivia will appreciate it, and I'll be accepted as part of the family. I held on to that faint hope and pushed down my uneasy feelings. Looking back, I wasted my time and money. James brazenly spilled his true feelings. Yeah, that's right. What value do you have besides money? I let you show off your brands at the reunion and brag about being rich. You should be thankful I let you spend your money before it rotted away. James cursed at me, his eyes brimming with tears. Pay you back? Don't be ridiculous. I married a plain, old spinster like you, we're even. I actually wanted to keep making you pay, but the divorce is too soon. Well, since you paid the high entrance fee for Olivia's school, I guess that's enough. 1 year's tuition is expensive, too. I couldn't have paid that $20,000 without you. So, thank you very much. Could there be a more infuriating thank you? I hesitated to let him continue his disgraceful behavior in front of Olivia, but I decided not to hold back anymore. I revealed another secret of James. What nonsense are you talking about? By the way, I found this while cleaning. I fluttered a bundle of letters. These are debt collection notices. I found notices from at least 5 companies. Olivia's tutoring fees and such were expensive, huh? How much did you borrow? No, that's not it. I'm paying it back. Only the interest. And you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. James was speechless. He was biting his lips in frustration. Besides the pay stubs and collection notices, there were also letters from women and forgotten money in envelopes. Apparently, he occasionally caught women like me for some extra income. Despite acting wealthy, he was actually a leech earning only $1,800. But, I'm getting by, so what's the problem? If you borrow money, you can get as much as you need. I don't see the point in working so hard. You'll eventually default on your loans and won't be able to borrow anymore. Then the government will take care of me. It's a loss to live without being smart. This man was a waste of my life. I delivered the final blow. Probably your days of living on debt are over. You still need to pay for school tuition soon. About $4,000, I think. Can you afford that? What? What money? I split the tuition payment. I paid the first installment, but there are still 2 more. So, this year's tuition is still about $8,000. What? I didn't hear about that. I didn't say because you ran away, and I couldn't discuss it with you. You're being unfair. It was too early for James to start yelling. I had one more bomb to drop. By the way, I paid the enrollment fee and the first installment of the tuition with a credit card. I told James with a smile. With your credit card, James? I had found the credit card covered in thick dust on a shelf. I didn't know if he had sealed it himself to prevent further use or simply lost it. I hesitated, but then I tried using the card to pay, and it worked effortlessly. It was for his daughter's tuition, so I figured it was okay. I worried about being blamed for using someone else's card, but luckily, he was too ignorant to do anything but yell. You're joking. Give me back my money. It's your own daughter's tuition. Besides, I'll need you to pay back the utilities, tutoring fees, and the mortgage payments I've been covering. I'll gratefully keep the $20,000 Mia just gave me. Including alimony, it's a very good deal for you. What? No way. I don't want anything more to do with you, so I'll leave the repayment to Mia. I ignored James's words and unilaterally ended the conversation. I quickly headed outside. No, you can't. Hey, wait. James tried to follow me, but Olivia, pale-faced, caught him at the entrance. What's going to happen to my school? I forcefully shook Olivia off, but then Mia hugged James tightly, laughing ominously. I thought she was a cute woman, but suddenly she seemed terrifying. Don't worry, James, Mia's got your back. I'll find you a good job. James couldn't move, letting out a scared yelp. He must have felt an unknown fear. Wait. Emily! You don't care what happens to me. Before closing the door, I answered clearly. I don't care what happens. Then I turned back to Olivia, speaking a bit more firmly. Olivia, you're smart. Use this man as a negative example and live strong. Olivia, who had been sobbing, glared at James with rebellious eyes. Wait! Emily! I really loved you! Wait! James's cries of despair echoed. After that, I promptly filed the divorce papers. I had cut off all contact with James, but he ambushed me at one of the trash collection sites. I finally found you! I've been waiting for you! I ignored James and silently continued my work. He started talking on his own. James hadn't managed his money, so he didn't even realize his credit card had been used, nor that he couldn't pay because his account was empty. I lost my bank book, so how could I know? Such a foolish argument wouldn't work. Everyone's demanding their money back. I don't have it. What am I supposed to do? Help me out. James's voice raised, but then he slumped in defeat. I have no one but you, Emily. I thought I'd be fine after leaving you because Mia was making good money. But then she said she couldn't marry me. It's horrible, right? It's like marriage fraud. James was the one pretending to be rich. No woman would want to marry him once they knew the truth. James started to cry as I remained unresponsive. Help me! Mia introduced me to some weird job. Something about making tens of thousands easily. It sounds too good to be true, right? It's definitely sketchy. What's going to happen to me? I'm scared, Emily. Well, all the trash has been collected. I took a deep breath and looked at James. There's still some trash here. Today is the day for recyclable trash, but trash that's of no use can't be collected. I'm not trash. Ignoring James, who was even less than trash, I got into the Packer truck and drove away. James kept pestering me, But one day he suddenly stopped showing up. He's probably busy with that lucrative job Mia set him up with. Just when I thought James had disappeared, next up was Olivia ambushing me. Like father, like daughter, they seemed to have the same tactics.
Hey, you're my mom, right? Please help me.
As soon as she saw my face, she burst into tears. Dad suddenly disappeared, and I'm all alone. I felt a pang of sympathy, thinking she was lonely, but I was wrong. Olivia, still in school and unable to fend for herself, was apparently going to be sent to a facility or taken in by relatives. She adamantly refused both. My relatives are coming to get me tomorrow. They live in some poor, rural place, and I absolutely hate it. Any little sympathy I had vanished. You can study anywhere. Leaving her with that thought, I went back to my work.
Mom, you're the only one I have left. You're Olivia's mom.
Olivia was crying loudly behind me. But I am not her mother. I had returned to being a carefree single.
Ah, the garbage truck is here.
When I arrived at a certain collection point, a little boy waved excitedly at me. Holding a mini model of a Packer truck, he watched my work with admiration.
That's cool.
While adults often avoid me due to the nature of my job, many children love garbage trucks and always cheer me on. I thought I was done with marriage, but what really gives me energy are these bright-eyed children. Maybe one day, I'll be able to build a warm and lively family of my own. With that thought, I waved back at the kids with a smile.